Hello and welcome to the very first BoardWars.eu Skirmish battle report. This is a new thing I try out, just to see how it works and how good I can do this. So I was playing around with Vassal the other day, and I managed to set up a game with some unknown guy I met on Vassal. And we ended up playing the skirmish mission Smuggled Goods. Just a quick recap what the mission is about. There are 3 crates located around the map. We'll see that later. And a figure can retrieve such a crate and then take it back to their original deployment zone. If they are at the end of the round in the deployment zone with the crate, the controlling player gets plus 15 victory points. And of course, like all skirmish games, you need 40 victory points to win the game. So with that out of the way, we'll take a short look on the map. We'll see on the top left and on the bottom right we have 2 deployment zones, and the contraband is located in the central courtyard. And then we have a contraband at the top right, junkyard shop stuff, whatever, behind the door. This will be important actually. And the last contraband crate is on the bottom left, also in a junkyard area. And my idea for playing this mission was I'll play the Royal Guard champion with 3 of his companions, normal Royal Guards. The idea behind was that they all have very high movement speeds and can get the crate out of the positions very fast, because you get a -2 movement speed reduction for carrying the crate, so it's a bit of a haul back to the deployment zone. So the faster your units can move, the better. Also, the idea was that with taking 3 Royal Guards, they each cost 8 deployment points. So once they're defeated, they give the enemy player 8 deployment points, and if he defeats 2 of these groups, he has 16 deployment points. Yeah, not deployment points, but victory points. And even if he defeats all 3 of them, this is just 24. If he then managed to get 1 crate, he is still 1 point short of winning. So he needs to defeat at least either the Royal Guard champion and 2 of my Royal Guards, or all of my units basically, and get a crate. So it's hard for him to get his victory points. On the other hand, the enemy played Chewbacca, which is a tough enemy, especially with his protector ability. Also with his slam, where he can attack twice in a round. It's not an attack, but he can damage twice in a round, which is pretty nice. And he played Luke Skywalker, which is mainly used for reroll, and his Saber Strike, which works very well against the Royal Guard champion and the Royal Guards, because they have high block values and they give each other blocks. But with the Saber Strike, you basically negate this high block amount. Then he also used Gideon to throw around focused, mainly for Chewbacca in the beginning, and later on for Luke too. And Saboteurs and Rebel Troopers to round out his army. With that out of the way, we'll jump right into the mission, and I'll see you there. So we are in the mission, and we set up our units and our, what's it called? Yeah, our deployment zone. And I'll start the game because we both have the same amount of deployment points deployed. But I won the coin toss, and this means I get to start. I activate my group 3 of my Royal Guards and dash towards the first crate in the central courtyard. My idea was to fully ignore the upper crate, the one behind the door, and make him spend movement points securing it and securing the terminal there. And I'll concentrate on the bottom 2 crate, the central crate and the left bottom crate. Try to secure them and also stall him from entering the courtyard, and basically try to get into melee range in the retrieving tokens. I was looking up some rules here. Get into melee range within these tight corridors where the Royal Guards really shine with their power to give adjacent friendly figures the +1 block. So the other player was using his Rebel Saboteurs to retrieve the first crate and to secure the top right terminal, which grants him, of course, one additional command card draw per round. And I was trying the same on the bottom left, but since the corridor is actually quite long there and most of the rebel units have ranged attacks, I was opening up for some pretty heavy attacks, which we'll see in a few moments. So I was activating my second Royal Guard group and try to hide behind the corner. Didn't actually work that good, but we'll see about that. Then the rebel player was activating Gideon to give a focused token or the focused condition to Chewbacca, which brings me to my activation, which is another Royal Guard activation. I think. Yes, I activated my first Royal Guard unit and also dashed across the corridor towards the contraband. And with the second unit I tried to set up behind the corner there to ambush from the side, because my idea was to use one of the Royal Guards from Group 3-2 to dash through the side entrance into the corridor and basically flank them when they decide to get out of the deployment zone. After that, of course, Chewbacca activates, dashes four spaces and delivers the first attack with focused, so he gets like four dice rolls, which is doing some decent damage. I think we actually forgot the green dice, and yeah, we forgot the green dice, and it will be added later on. It's here the roll with one additional damage. So I was getting quite a bit of damage on this unit. Yeah, like 6 damage, and yeah. But I rolled very good with 3 blocks, so I was getting only 6 damage and 2 surges for Chewbacca, which he converted to, I think, a stun and bonus damage. Yes, of course. So I get 8 no, not 8. Oh, yeah, because I rolled 3 blocks, I got 4 damage. And I got an additional block from my adjacent unit, so I had 4 blocks, and he converted the surges to a stun and +2 damage. So I was getting all in all 4 damage and stun condition, which is pretty bad because I couldn't use the unit to its full extent next turn. So I activated the Royal Guard Champion and also moved up the long corridor, after which the rebel activated Luke Skywalker, and I think did he attack? I don't think so. No, I think he did attack. He did attack the Royal Guard standing on his own in the courtyard. That's actually bad because he doesn't benefit from. Did he attack? No, he didn't attack. Okay, he doesn't benefit from any additional blocks from his friends. So the idea to leave him alone there wasn't the best one. So the last activation, of course, goes to the rebel with his rebel troopers. That's also a thing to watch out for with the Royal Guard Champion and his 3 friends. You only have 4 deployment cards, so with players that try to swarm you, you are at a serious activation disadvantage, which can bite you in the ass pretty hard. But if you position your units right, you should be able to pull through and use the protector abilities to your advantage. So he was positioning, yeah, he was positioning the rebel troopers, of course, and was shooting at the lone royal guard in the courtyard. And this brings us to the end of the first turn. No one secured any crates yet, no victory points were awarded, and we both draw 2 command cards. I didn't actually look what I draw, but we'll see when I play them. I play almost all of my command cards. I think I drew Pummel and Urgency, which are both pretty good cards with my deployment cards, with my units I deployed. So on to the second round, where the rebel, of course, activates the rebel troopers, not the royal troopers, the rebel troopers. He wanted to play take cover, but he didn't actually figure or understand that you only take cover on 1 unit. Also, you can't move during the unit during the round, because you need to it's a special action to use take cover. So he was deciding against it and just attacked the royal guard. He dealt additional, additional 3 damage, because the rebel troop, of course, gets +1 damage when he didn't leave his space before he takes the shot. So he moved all of them around, attacked the royal guard a little bit more, and I think my royal guard still survives, which is quite annoying to the rebel player. I think he survives with just 1 hit point. Because this attack that didn't deal actually any damage, I think. Oh no, it did deal any damage. Okay, so that's the first unit that is defeated. One of my royal guards in the first group. I activate in my activation the royal guard champion, dash up and get in the midst of the troopers and Luke, of course, which takes me 5 movement points of my 6 movement points. Then I use brutality to attack one rebel trooper, and then the second attack, I think, goes to Luke. Yeah. Okay, the rebel trooper is killed, of course, with massive amounts of damage. Second attack is onto. Do I attack Luke or I think I attacked actually the second royal trooper. Yes, the second royal trooper, which is also defeated. So the royal guard champion did some good here, and then it's over to the rebel player, which activates Gideon, and I think he gives focused again to Chewbacca or to Luke, I don't know. He gives it to Chewbacca, and we'll see what he does with that. I activate group 2 of my royal guards, play Element of Surprise, of course, move up with 1 royal guard, and attack. And I remove the black die from the Wookiee with Element of Surprise, of course, and attack with dealing only 3 damage, but he rolls the blank on the white die, so he gets 3 damage going through. I'll retreat 1 space back to create a shield, basically, for my stunned royal guard. Second one is also a regular attack on the Wookiee. That doesn't deal any damage actually. 3 damage against 3 blocks. The Wookiee is very good to defend. Okay, then over to the rebel activation. I was planning on playing Urgency to get the crates out of the way, but we'll see about that. Wait. Oh, I play a card. I play Guardian. It's also a good card because I can choose to reroll either my defense die or one of the attack die. Okay, and he rolls 4 damage and 1 surge, and I reroll his red dice for no changes. So I get 1 damage and stun. Because I'm still adjacent to one of my royal guards, I get +1 block. I roll 2 blocks, so I have 3 blocks, which is quite high. And yeah. The rebel actually wanted to play a command card, but it was force user only. I think it was force throw. So he couldn't do it this round. At least not with the Wookiee. And it was my activation. I activate my group 3, play urgency to give one of the troopers or the royal guards +2 movement points. He picks up the crate. It's the bottom one. He picks up the crate, which is one of his actions. Then he still has 5 movement points because he gets -2 movement points, but he gets +2 from urgency, so he can move 5 spaces, which brings him just 1 space shy from the deployment zone, which is a shame, but it is how it is. And with the second royal guard, I move up and try to attack I think I tried to attack, yeah, the rebel trooper. I didn't actually manage to kill him, only give him 2 wounds. That's bad, but can't help it. So it was onto the rebel activation. He activates, of course, he activates Luke and does a saber strike onto. What's he attacking? I think, yeah, he attacked the royal guard, which didn't actually get +1 block from an adjacent royal guard because the royal guard champion doesn't have the protector ability. My initial plan was to swarm the corridor with the royal guard and the other royal guard, with the royal guard champion and the other royal guards, basically in packs, so they all benefit from the +1 block. But it didn't work out that way, so it was bad on my part. I activate the first group and discard the stun and put him next to the contraband so he can pick it up next turn and take a leave towards the deployment zone. The Imperial player, the Rebel player, of course, activates his saboteurs, picks up the crate, moves 3 spaces, and the other Rebel saboteur is staying there to draw him the additional command card during the status round. And we are done with our activations. We got a new round. We get 2 command cards each of us because we both control 1 terminal. And I get take cover, and what's the other? I missed it. Maybe there was another pommel. No, I don't think so. Whatever, I will see that later. So my activation first, I exhaust the Royal Guard champion, play pommel, and attack Luke twice. So twice onto Luke, because pommel lets you attack twice the same figure twice. And only if it's a melee attack, which the Royal Guard champion obviously has. So I do 4 damage, 5 damage actually, and he plays deflection, which is bad because now he rolls his white die and he rolls a dodge icon, which means not only does he dodge the whole attack, but he also deals 2 damage to me, which is very bad. So that attack was basically thwarted. I do the second attack. There was a slight confusion about did I use brutality, but of course I use pommel, so I can attack the same figure twice and don't have to split up my attacks. So he rolls 1 evade and he takes, I think he takes 6 damage and is bleeded, which is quite nice actually. And no one's getting any. I don't think we get any victory points. I think the rebel player mistakenly entered victory points at the bottom because we don't get any until now. No deployment group is fully defeated, so you only get deployment points when a group is fully defeated, which includes all of the figures of the deployment card. So he activated the lone rebel trooper, dealt an additional damage to my royal guard that's standing up there, the one from group 3, and so he was sitting with one final health, and I'll activate my group 2. What do I play? Do I play anything? No, I don't play anything. The first one I pull up there and try to. What I wanted to do was try to block Gideon from getting in the action and giving his focus to anyone. So I attack the Wookiee, only doing 2 damage. Activate my second figure, discard is done, and also move up, creating a wall. Later I figured out I couldn't actually fully block there, so it wasn't that good of an idea. But it didn't, yeah. We figured out, of course. Luke did end up taking 1 damage less because the Wookiee was standing next to him, so whatever. And so it didn't actually pan out with Gideon because the Wookiee activates now, I think. Is this right? Yeah, the Wookiee activates, and he's attacking the figures from the my second group, and he's using Slam, which isn't an attack. It's just you roll 1 red die. Is it one red die? I think. Yeah, and he's using it to the bottom royal guard. 3 damage. Lucky roll. And he's moving it 1 space down, because when you slam it, you can, after you successfully deal damage, you can move the figure in 1 space in any direction, and he decides to move it down. Then he actually attacks on G15, which is the top royal guard. 3 wounds and 1 surge. Is it the top or the bottom? I think I actually entered the damage wrong here, because I was expecting him to attack the bottom one and focus it down, but he wanted to attack the top one. Oh, it seems I did it right after all. Okay, his activation is complete. I activate my group 3, which is the one with the crate in hand. It's just moving 1 space, so I can discard the crate token at the end of the turn and get my first victory points. And the second one is attacking the royal guard, of course not the royal guard, but the rebel trooper, killing it, and then he's hiding behind the corner to get out of the way and maybe survive another round. That's the end of my turn, and the rebel activates. He plays something. Element of surprise with Gideon. Yeah, of course, he plays element of surprise with Gideon and attacks the bottom royal guard, which removes my black defense die and attacks. So he probably kills it. Yeah, dealing 3 damage, and one of my royal guards is again defeated. But since the Royal Guard champion has the Executor ability, he now gets a free attack. He can move 2 spaces and attack, but I choose to move only 1 space and then attack Luke. Doing 2 damage, 1 surge. He blocks and evades, so Luke is alive for now, but he has 7 damage, which is quite much for Luke actually. And I'll take my last royal guard and move the crate towards my deployment zone. The rebel troopers are defeated. I hide the cards so we get to know which cards are defeated and which not. He activates... What did he activate? I don't know actually. Did he activate the Wookiee, of course, and shot at my Royal Guard. Doesn't defeat him, and now I activate my Royal Guard. And what do I do actually? Okay. I forgot what I do. Or maybe I had all my activations done already. Okay. So the rebel player activated his saboteurs and brought the crate into his deployment zone. And the second one was trying to join the fight. So next round, the first deployment points are awarded. I get my first 15 points, and of course I get another another 6 points for the rebel troopers. And at the start of the round, I play the following card, Close the Gap, which enables me to move one space with each of my brawlers. All of my units are brawlers, so all of them get to move one space. And I chose to move the crate, of course, towards the deployment zone. The Royal Guard in the deployment zone, I chose to move one space out of it, so he can join the fight faster. And then I moved the Royal Guard champion next to the Wookiee and the other Royal Guards, so I can trigger his executor ability when he dies, which I don't know if it did, but so I exhaust the, of course, first exhaust the round of the rebel. He exhausts Luke, kills the Royal Guard, which gives me a free attack with the Royal Guard champion, and I managed to kill Gideon. And I don't know why I didn't move. He moved there with Luke, so he did take 2 damage from the bleed because he didn't discard it, I think. And then I immediately activate my Royal Guard champion, do brutality, and activate Luke and then Chewbacca. Luke is defeated, which gives me another 10 victory points. I'm sitting at 29 currently. No, it's not 29. It's 34 actually. So if I manage to get my crate into my deployment zone, I have 1. And I of course, the second attack is targeting the Wookiee, which inflicts 5 wounds with it, which is much. So the Wookiee is also sitting at 10 damage, and my Royal Guard is fleeing the scene. Rebel is activating the Wookiee, moving down, shooting at the guy carrying the crate in an attempt to make him drop the crate and either get the crate for himself or stall my attempt to get my crate into my deployment zone. So he attacks and he does how much damage? I think he's 1 damage short of killing my guy. Yeah, I think it's 7. He has 7 damage now. And then I activate my guy carrying the crate. I actually missed. He stuns him, so I have to discard stun and then move. I only can move 3 spaces. 1. Yeah, I discard the stun, then move 1, 2, 3 spaces. I forgot that the unit actually should be 1 space closer to the deployment zone because I used Close the Gap at the beginning of the turn and I forgot that, so yeah. The Rebel is activating his saboteurs and is trying to join the fight with them, but they are too slow. I activate my group 3, my group 3. Attack with the first Royal Guard. Defeat one of the saboteurs. Step 1 back. Step 1 space back. Get the second figure and basically create a wall there. And this is the end of the turn. I get to activate first, I think, next round. I only get one deployment card, which is recovery. Yeah, I get to activate first. Of course, I activate first my unit carrying the crate. Play recovery on it, because I only need 3 spaces to get to the deployment zone. So he still has, I think, still has 4 hit points left. Then the rebel exhausts his rebel trooper, tries to make a gap for the Wookiee to get through and shoot the wounded royal guard. He succeeds in killing it, which, yeah, opens up a space. But the next activation, I activate my royal guard champion. Yeah, and the sure way to win this fight is to just re-establish the wall again, which is perfectly fine. So the rebel has no way of denying me getting the crate. And that's the end of the game and the video. So if you enjoyed watching this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and tell anyone of any Imperial Assault forum about the channel. I will post new videos about skirmish games. Maybe I'll even do some casts of the EIA Commands tournament that will start soon. And also, don't forget to listen to our podcast that is bi-weekly and available at BoardWars.eu. And yeah, until the next time, see you guys. Bye bye.